Okay, hello. This is Game Plan slash The Laughing Man. I'm gonna be reviewing a buddy of mine's games here. He played in a recent tournament with me and was having some issues, so I thought I would go over some stuff, do a review of his games. I'm gonna be reviewing this ranked game against Flappe that he wins. But it looks like he went 5 games, so there should be some stuff to review here. So let's just get into it. What is 20 or 200k? Is that Frieza clan? Might be Saiyan. So let's just get into this. Alright, so I gotta turn on command history. Okay, so this dude already is holding S, or he at least pressed it, I guess. So, a fast medium into 2H. I've seen this opener used by Nintega a bit. Basically, I mean, hit is really fast. I'm not sure the frame data on 5M, but it seems really fast and covers a huge distance. So if it's like similar to other things, it'd be like, what, 11 to 13 frames or something like that, and then going right into 2H, I think it combos. You might be able to reflect it, but this guy is holding up back, so we're not going to see anything come of that. Oh, one thing I will say, oh, and you do it after the 2H, is I was going to say, like, call an assist on medium, but it doesn't look like you have assists that would work, like, right off a raw medium, so doing it after 2H is actually a really good idea. That's unfortunate. You didn't even hold forward. That is really unfortunate. How'd that happen? Oh, you must have held the button. Don't hold the button. Just press it. If you hold the button, you'll get this, where you'll tag in. If you hold forward when doing it, you'll just tag faster. So you get Bardock in. Yeah, and it looks like you weren't ready for that because you immediately went on the defensive there. Which isn't a bad thing. Alright, so you super dashed there when this guy was just walking back. You didn't get anything for it, but you didn't get punished either. I would say try to hold off from doing full screen super dashes like that, because you might get 2H'd. So this guy's pressing, what is he doing, a DP? No, he's just pressing down medium. So you super dashed, and then you hit lights. And he was able to slide into you and get the hit. So his first hit happened because you were being a little too aggressive after Super Dash. You are not safe after Super Dash. Well, you're safe, but you're not free to press buttons. You're not at advantage. So you might just have to take that blocking stance for a bit, or else get opened up like this. So let's see what he does with this. Gets a pretty decent combo, gets a bomb loop. Oh, and he drops it. Yikes. You are mashing light and medium. You don't need to mash it, you can just hold a button. But you pop out, which is good. So he dropped his combo, let's see where he goes with it now. Okay, so he does another slide M, and you block it this time, which is good. What you could probably do against that is I think your Ki Blast would come out faster if you could find a way to convert off of that. But let's focus on what goes on now. Okay, so he checked you twice and then saw that you were blocking and knew that you weren't going to be opened up. So from here, from this stance, I think what you should be doing is on any gap, at least this is what I do right now, is like just to establish, a game style or something like that, a safe option would be to be doing reflect. If they already used, crouch medium, which the slide is, so you don't have to fear any lows after that, unless he stops and resets his pressure. So after you see like a crouch medium, just feel free to start hitting reflect, because on any gap that they try to do, it'll just bounce them away until they start, you know, baiting your reflect, and then it's like, okay, well, now you got to find a different option. But that would totally nullify this case here, and if they true string into, you know, some kind of overhead, you're still like ready for that. But it looks like you're going to get hit here, and he's going to call an assist to combo this overhead. Yep. Oh, but he misses his combo. So you did the right thing. You're up backing. Well, kind of the right thing. You up teched. So he might try to put a meaty out on you, and if he whiffs that, you can 2H from this relatively safely. So you could have like 2H'd there and canceled it into something. Instead you got nervous, and it looks like you were waiting for him to do something, like you were trying to up back again instead of just reflecting. So yeah, your two options there after you up tech, if they miss their string to bring you down to the ground, is you could do reflect or 2H. 2H is a little less safe. It gets you a lot of damage if they're trying to fall on you with a move because of its upper body invincibility. But if they bait your 2H and just block, like you have to cancel it into something or else you're unsafe. And, well, reflecting is kind of the same, but it's got a bigger window of activity. So if you, in this situation, if you had reflected, it would have pushed him back instead. But you were holding up back, trying to just get out of the situation, and got opened low. And he gets his combo into a super, into another super. So here you should really be thinking, actually after that first combo you should have been thinking about tagging back out, but now you definitely should. You're going to recover in the air. I think what you do need to do is like hold forward so you tech out of the corner, and then just be ready for them to like super dash at you or something like that, and then as soon as you see them leave the ground, you can raw tag, because it's unlikely that they'll be able to do anything about it unless they're Vegeta. But yeah, basically you want to get Bardock out in this situation. Even if you fall down and start blocking, you can still guard cancel. And the timing for that is kind of here and there. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking as much because it's going to be an hour-long video just to get through 5 matches. Oh, that was really smart. So you did what I said, which is tech out of the corner and then tag in. But the problem with this is that hit has a long time to come down to the ground. Which one is frame by frame? So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, your super dash becomes super reactable at that point. If they know that you were going to be put up into a corner and would have to come down with something, a lot of people won't try to pursue, and they'll instead say, oh, well, I know what he's going to do in this situation. He has to tag or else risk losing an early character. But if I can get him with this, you know, 2H, I can force that character back in. So, you know, you kind of want to wait to, especially with a character like Bardock where you have some air mobility with his rush punch, you could have gotten like full screen and then touched down and like guard canceled out, which would have been a safer option, which doesn't get you like 2H'd here. So you get 2H'd. Oh, he didn't have meter to snap. Okay. So he runs up and tags in Broly instead of going for Wake Up Oki. So that was a good backdash, avoiding his moves. Oh, okay, you sack him here, you get him with the with the Vanish, you get a short combo. Let's see how you... Okay, you force him to wake up into your assist, which is good. And now you're just kind of playing around with your mix-ups, which, if they don't know hit, you know, is a smart idea. But he could have punished you there, he could punish you there. And now you've given up pressure because you were hesitating. And you were trying to do something like catch him waiting or something like that, and took a hit for that. So that's how you got hit. Here is you were trying to play with your food too much rather than having setups that will get you a solid hit. So that's something to work on, is just setting up a situation where you know and feel comfortable, oh, I can confirm from this into a combo, into a situation that you are more comfortable with than he is. So if we relate that back to earlier, where you took the double Kame super into the air, he was a lot more comfortable with that situation than you were, because he knew your options. It's like, okay, you either have to play passively and escape, or, you know, raw tag, and I can 2H that. So, that's essentially what you want to do on any hit, is end up in a situation where you are more comfortable than your opponent. So he gets a hit here, and I think he chucks you to the ground, Vanish. Oh, and he misses. Now this was a smart idea, is swapping again. So your character swaps are actually pretty decent. You're recognizing, that took me a long time to figure out, is recognizing when I should be swapping my characters around. I would kind of just let them play until they died. So you're good there. He whiffs his medium and you get your super dash into a small combo. And then you just super dashed at him again, which if he had down teched would have been super unsafe. But he didn't. He tried to get back at you. You guys were both playing aggressive and you just happened to win out there. So now you need to focus on setting up a situation that you're comfortable with, which should be like a sliding knockdown. I'm not sure, I don't know a lot about Bardock, but I thought there should be a way that you get, you know, a strong sliding knockdown from that, rather than just going into the light version. I thought you could use medium and that gets you a sliding, but I'm not positive. But even this, like, if you had done that and called Goku assist or something and they got hit by that, I think that still puts you at a pretty decent advantage, rather than just letting him recover like this. So now you need to set your pressure all over again, and it looks like he is really trying to super dash at you. Okay, so you get your pressure back with your lights. Let's see what you do with it. Oh, so you punch, so you let a gap happen, and this guy decided to just 2H because he figured you wouldn't back it with an assist. So instead of going into this combo, try to do a few other moves into Goku assist, and then and then into like an instant overhead, or even like run up low or run up grab, or even just restart pressure and then do this. But doing the stagger that early in the combo, people don't want to wait around, so they are going to be pressing buttons. Just if you have a gap, they're going to try to abuse it. So I think you get hit here, and this guy should be thinking about tagging out. Instead, I think, oh wow, so he's sticking around a bit too long with his Broly. So if you call hit from this position, it'll start your pressure on him, and then you can SD freely onto him. But let's see what happens. Okay, so you both just kind of back off and throw each other at each other again. That was good. Oh, you really should have vanished that. You could have killed this Broly if you had vanished that, or even if you had done... I don't know what. It looks like you super dashed and then jabbed? So you did your auto combo? You really should have vanished that. So get better at that. Or even called hit. If you had called hit, I think you can still confirm off of that. So just clean up, you know, your random hits there. So let's keep going. He swaps in, and you weren't ready for it, so you took the hit. And that's a situation where you really should have been looking for a random raw tag and been ready to 2H because his Broly was super low and you let him escape. So just, I guess next time be looking for that. So hit comes in and you get 2H because he knew that situation better than you did. He hits you with the Kame. And notice how he was just kind of hovering down underneath you. He was expecting you to like raw tag again, I think. So let's see, and because you didn't, like what did he do? He didn't do anything. So let's see what happens. So he checks you a bit. He opens you up with that because he started his combo with medium and you didn't reflect. So you go into that. What is that? You're just doing the auto combo and then is quarter circle forward S the gut punch? Because you really shouldn't be going into that. Don't forget that like your quarter circle forward L, I believe, the tornado spin is an overhead on the last hit. So if they're holding down back, they're gonna get hit by that. I know when Bardock first came out, that hit me a few times, and it might still work at lower levels. I'm not sure. But definitely avoid using the gut punch. And if you do use the gut punch and they block it, you're at frame advantage. So just restart your block string. Also, get a longer block string. 5L, 5L, or yeah, 5LL, 5M, or no, 5LL, 2M, 5M, 5H into a special is what you really should be doing. Because it makes them have to sit down for a lot longer, and you can sort of think about what they might be wanting to do. So that you let this guy out of your block pressure, and he 2 mediums you. And he hesitated because you had fallen for the overhead before, so this was a smart situation to press buttons on him. And you get an auto combo off this. Not very damaging. I think he could have gone for something bigger. So that's something to work on. This is the... Stop doing this. 100% of the time, do not do this. If you're gonna vanish and do something, you can, like... You can do quarter circle forward medium and get a sliding knockdown, I think. Don't grab. What are you gonna do? Where's your pressure? Alright, you could call Goku and have them fall into that. But if they up tech, they get out of that for free and you have no pressure after that. And then it resets to neutral and you have to work your way back in the whole time. This is super weak here, unless you're thinking of snapping out. Which I guess is not that, and even that, I would say you're getting diminishing returns on that already. Broly's already, recovered most of his life. If he comes in, as Anchor with Sparking, that's still only one combo to kill him. In my opinion, he's not a high priority target. This Gohan kind of is, because it looks like you're struggling with his crouching medium and his overhead, as well as having a DP. So he's ultimately more of a risk than Broly is. So doing as much damage to this character and forcing him to have all 3 characters within one combo of being killed is leaves less likely that he'll Sparking Anchor back. But I think that's mostly my personal opinion. Alright, let's keep going. So you tag in Broly, and that's another dumb thing. He could have backdashed, and no matter at what frame he came in or how late your grab, backdashes are invincible to grabs now. And it also kind of puts you a little above where you would expect them to be. So if you don't time your meaty really well, they could be able to escape that as well. So going for grab as opposed to going for a meaty on incoming is not a good idea. But you get the hit, so let's see what you do with it. It looks like based on your meter, you should be able to kill. And you blue beated, but you got the sliding knockdown, so you should be able to do 2 supers into a level 3 here and kill him. And you don't! Why didn't you do that? You got the sliding knockdown, you could have supered, you could have rush punched, thrown a ball, level 3 with Goku, and killed this character that you thought was worth it enough to snap in. So you get an auto combo and you get it for free. So I guess he didn't lose out entirely, but that was a situation where he could have tagged out again, and you would have been back to square one. And then you do random rush punch, random super. I don't know what you were looking for there. And you have enough meter that you could have DHC'd into Goku as well and pushed him back a bit more. Like, that's a harder confirm than Bardock rush punch. So that was a questionable decision, and you get punished for it, and I believe you die. Yep. So now you're on Anchor Goku. So you get the hit on Teen Gohan, but he runs away. You get the Vanish, but it's reset to neutral. You're kind of spamming beams. You're not approaching. Which, not always bad, but alright, so you get the confirm here. And you miss the down medium. Practice that. That's a super important confirm to know. And like having that extra damage when your opponent doesn't have that extra damage is really important. So he did a move and then waited for you, and you super dashed, and he was ready for that scenario, and you got 2H'd for it. So that's random super dashing rather than running at him. If you had run at him and then like stopped and baited his 2H, he wouldn't have been able. Well, he might have been able to empty vanish it or something like that. But you know, if you had baited that scenario just by like running forward and then stopping, you would have been in a lot safer of a position than committing with a super dash from like 3/4 screen. So you get level 3'd here. So you're not holding any direction here. You're not trying to block or anything. And he's doing a Kame. Oh, that's because you were sparking. Okay. So you sparked and got hit. Which, you know, you got your spark out, so at least there's that. And he whiffs his thing. He whiffs his vanish. And then you got caught mashing light. And he got you with his low lights into medium, into a confirm. Whoa, and he whiffed big on that. And you're doing like mash, jab, block string. Like that's not gonna work, man. That's not a long block string that people have to like sit down and be patient about. But I guess it goes unpunished, so what can you do? So he gets hit there, and you super dash, and then don't do anything afterward and take the 2H. You could have like backdashed or something. You super dash again, get the pressure with sparking, and then really lower your combos damage by doing that. And then you do the grab again, and I don't think this works. I don't think you can I don't think this combos, but it might. Maybe if you're going up. So let's see that. Okay, so that does do a hit. And then you super dash again at him. And then you're doing really short block strings into Kame. full screen Kame into Vanish, and you lucked out because he wasn't respecting your buttons. If he had reflected there, you would have been blown up. So you Kame, Vanish, pressure with this. And now it looks like he's trying to spark. Also, you didn't get it soon enough. And now you're just kind of throwing hands at each other. He gets you with the overhead. He doesn't know you can cancel it into empty Vanish into overhead. And you're still like just throwing out this really mediocre pressure of lights. There's no room for mix-up with that block string. And now you're just like waiting out his sparking? Why would you do this instead of going for like an air combo into hard knockdown? This is a soft knockdown. They're just going to recover instantly, and he could DP you. Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to knock him to the ground, and then you're going to super dash at him. Bet. Okay, you didn't do that. You did the super. But you missed it because that's inconsistent, and you got killed by the 2M. Oof. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more, less pausing for these next matches, because you do end up winning. So you win this one. Whoop, I forgot to turn on the buttons, but that was a decent opener. That would have messed up some people who are playing too patient, but this guy, you know, holding up back kind of removes all that pressure from hit. Alright, so let's... So you called assist, he called assist, he hit you. But doesn't get a combo. You call... So you call Goku and Super Dash, which isn't a bad option. And you kind of almost got pressure from that, but didn't all the way. But he didn't respect hits full screen normals, so he got hit. And you give up your... So a thing a lot of people do now is like up-teching, and just by running at him, you remove a lot of your pressure if they up-tech, because he's out now. He didn't have to deal with you. I think you need to get better about doing instant air dashes, whatever way you feel most comfortable doing it. You can do hold up forward and then hold forward, like so it's just up forward to forward right away, and then pressing the super dash input. That'll give you an instant air dash, or doing up forward back to neutral forward really fast, like you would for a normal dash, but with it up forward at the beginning. That'll give you an instant air dash, and that'll greatly increase the amount of pressure you can get off of sliding knockdown. This running at them and mashing light, you need to find more buttons than lights. I see you pressing light a lot, and that's going to get you blown up against some opponents. So two things that I really think you're doing wrong is super dashing and using lights for your pressure. If you develop those more, you'll greatly increase the rank that you're at. So he super dashes, you weren't blocking or trying to 2H. It looked like you were trying to super dash at him. When he's above you, you know, what's he gonna do? I guess he could have called assist, but if he didn't, you would have been ready to 2H and just take him out. Instead, he got caught in this combo, and I think you hit the wall here. Yep. Oh wow, he spent the bar on it. So now he calls his assist, I don't know why he does that, but if you super dash at him, I think he's going to be ready with his 2H. Okay, so you waited until you were down a bit and then tagged in, which isn't a bad option. But I would still say guard canceling is probably safer. So, you know, you could have fallen down into his pressure, blocked a few times, and then guard canceled. Because you have to take his pressure now anyway. So you could have escaped the corner there by doing, you know, the rush punch. And this guy is pressing 2H on you. So in the same vein that you're, like, trying to abuse the system with... Oh, wow. Okay, you got the kill. So the same way you're trying to abuse the system with Super Dash, he's trying to abuse the system with 2H. You guys are, like, canceling each other out. That was a good tag. You should have vanished there. I think you would have been able to get a better setup after that. And instead, you get off your flow and get opened up by this Broly. So now you're back in your flow, and sliding knockdown. That was kind of smart. But if he had done like literally anything else, then you would have gotten bopped. And you could have spent a third bar there and killed Broly. But it seems like you want to keep your Goku on anchor for whatever reason. Like, don't have him in at all, which isn't the right idea. It's like if he could have killed Broly and stopped this from happening, you should have done it. So you snap in Broly. So maybe you were anticipating this, that you were just going to get the snap anyway. But you go for a grab. That's not going to work. As more people figure out that backdash and you know, double jump and stuff just kind of gets rid of that. So this is good pressure. That was serious pressure, except that you did 5LL into 236S. You could have made that block string a whole lot longer. And you still have Goku assist that you haven't used yet. You're still plus, so let's see what happens. Yeah, so he didn't recognize he was plus. So in that case, it worked out for you. But if we go back to the first match, you got 2H'd by Broly. So that could have just as easily have happened in that gap. If he was like pressing light on your block strings. So now you get a setup here. This doesn't work anymore. That setup does not work anymore. I don't know if you know that. But, oh, I guess the tornado is 214. This quarter circle back. But, yeah, doing that after level 3, they slowed 236SM down enough that you can't get an easy mix-up right off of it. So you have to manually time it now. So it looks like he was trying to spark there and ended up getting Super Dash instead, but it worked out. He's not dead yet. So there, you left a gap and he was able to spark out of it. You could have called hit. You could have called Goku. You could have done a longer string. You know, if you had gone low at all, he would have been blown up. Look at this. He's holding straight back for that whole thing. If you had gone low and at any point in your string, you would have opened him up. If you had done 2M, you would have opened him up. So there's not a lot of argument for mashing 5LL. Mash it twice, do 5LL, and then do 2M, 5M, 5H, 2H, call assist, restart your pressure. Instead, you let this guy spark. And here you go, mash in light again. This guy has a much longer block string. And I don't know why he didn't vanish there, but... So he could have 2HG there. You get the hard knockdown here. You miss your meaty. He challenges your 5LL into 236S. And gets rewarded with a super combo. You do 5LL again into a special. So I think playing hit has sort of been a crux for you, or a crutch, because when you mash 5LL into a special with hit, you get put so far away that you never have to think about any repercussions. But for someone like Bardock, it's like, that'll get you blown up. So he misses his combo. You super dash again and then call assist, which isn't a bad idea. You were throwing out random moves and got hit. So now it's like if this guy just plays patiently, I think he would win. Oh, and the Rush Punch Light version got slowed down enough too on opening that it's not a great option anymore either. So you raw level 3 here. He blocks it and punishes you. And this should be a dead Bardock. He could have done a little bit more, but... So now you went from a 3-character up lead against this much health of a Goku to one-on-one here. And if you had had longer block strings, you could have cut more of his time out of sparking. So you still have a full stick of butter with Goku as well as sparking. So I think it did say that you won anyway. But I mean, look at the comeback this guy made by just playing like more patient than you and punishing your mistakes. Okay, so you get your combo, and that even blue beated, so you need to work on the combo there. So you won that one, and yeah, I can already kind of tell how the other ones are going to go from this, so I'm not going to go ahead and review those, but things you really need to work on is extending your block strings, extending your combos, using your assists with your block strings, instant air dashing, not super dashing at everything, being more comfortable after your own combos than your opponent. So if you are more comfortable doing, setting up the grab, if you know their options and what they're going to try to do and you're able to punish that, then that's a good idea. But if you can extend it and get a sliding knockdown, that severely limits their options. And ultimately that should be more claustrophobic for them. So just work on those things. Work on like getting better combos as well. And I think you're going to rise like really quickly. But it seems like you're sort of still exploring the game and exploring the situations that you feel comfortable in. So I think you need to just put a little more time into developing your characters and developing their synergy. That's all I got for now. If you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. And yeah.